Welcome to Lee on the Lectionary, and today we're going to look at the readings for the week known as Proper 11 in Year A, and those readings are Isaiah 44 verses 6 to 8, Romans chapter 8 verses 12 to 25, and Matthew chapter 13 verses 24 to 30 and 36 to 43. Our theme this week is the release of tensions and fears that will come at the end of the age. Isaiah 44 presents to us a God who knows no beginning and no end, the King. He is the first and the last, with no equals, an incomparable God who alone knows what is to come, even before it has happened. His eternal nature might terrify mortal temporal beings such as we are. And yet, Isaiah's God says, "Do not fear or be afraid." He has revealed himself and his ways, and is a rock to those who trust in him. There is no vacillation or indecisiveness in him. He will constantly remain our God and King throughout the changing seasons and circumstances of life. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Humanity, on the other hand, is very different. We are a tense and complex mixture of good and evil. In Romans 8, Paul presents the strain within us as a conflict between the flesh and the spirit. There are two ways for us to live, by the flesh or by the spirit. One way leads to death and destruction, the other to life and glory. One is a way of slavery to fear, the other a way of adoption and glory, but with suffering thrown into the mix between the two. Suffering, however, is put into perspective by the glory to be revealed when this present evil age is over. It is not insubstantial, but it is light and momentary compared with what is to come. This hope, for which we wait patiently yet longingly, is ours in Christ alone. But it is also shared by the world that he created. We groan inwardly with but the first fruits of the Spirit to comfort us, for the full revelation of the last day, when our decaying bodies will be redeemed. And the rest of creation groans with us, since our redemption will be its liberation day, as the curse by which it was subjected to futility in Genesis chapter 3 is finally lifted. There will be labour pains for the whole creation until that day of new birth and regeneration. On that day, the sinful flesh, with its fears, strains, and sufferings, will be purged and done away with forever. Article 26 of our 39 articles, the inspiration and guidance under God, to which all those who lead the church profess their loyalty at ordination, tells us that in the visible church the evil be ever mingled with the good. Jesus' parable of the wheat and the weeds in Matthew 13 likewise reminds us that the tensions we experience before the end of the age are not just within us as believers, but between the righteous and those who do or cause evil in the world. Like the slaves in the parable, we might long for the weeds to be uprooted immediately, gathered together and prevented from causing any further damage or trouble. But the Lord, in his wisdom, has rather set a day on which he will judge the world in righteousness by a man that he has appointed. The tension is acute when, as the article forewarns, sometimes the evil have chief authority in the ministration of the word and sacraments. Article 26 from the 39 articles. In such a situation, there must be discipline, it says, and deposition, according to the inheritance of faith that we have built on. Yet, however careful and rigorous that might be, it can never be perfect until the Son of Man sends his angels to throw evil and the causes of evil into the furnace of fire on the last day. Now, this is not an excuse for laxity or a license for laissez-faire, but an encouragement to persevere in hope when the odds seem stacked against the godly and a time of great difficulty draws near. However bleak things may seem today, we will shine like the sun in the kingdom of our Father.